It's Zenzi. I'm determined to not squander the theory of consciousness that can unite all 8 billion of us across every nook and cranny of Earth into a global hive mind of species-level thinking precisely when we are the generation of adults who need to think about and rethink everything. This is Enzi. This is just directly pitched to Francois. I'm having trouble talking. I'm autistic. And I was dehumanized by one of the security guards for the horrific crime stepping on, never crossed, just bumping into an invisible boundary. What was public and what was not, with the spirit of a Silomar. I'm here, I'm on the globe's original consulting philosopher of bio-electromagnetism. I know you've heard of starving artists. Well, it's destitute philosophers. 4 years, 4 months, counting. 1,111 of 12 days of homelessness. And all I did was very respectfully try to network with the people orbiting the conference. I did not take one ion of energy from anyone participating in the current agenda. I simply tried to find a way to network with the press and the conference organizers. I identified myself right at the beginning of the conference. I never ever didn't say, well, I'm just a local resident, member of the public, in the public spaces, looking to share my own work, which is just beyond where this current scientific zeitgeist can go. Philosophical method can go a lot faster, a lot cheaper. And, you know, as a woman, nobody during my philosophy degree ever had a conversation with me. I never had one conversation with any of my philosophy professors. Nobody ever even thought of seeing the potential in me. Because I don't have a penis, because I was morbidly obese, because I'm non-diagnosably autistic AF. I've recorded what happened to me not to influence the conference. This was entirely evident in all of my participation. But to talk about the aftermath, which the aftermath is that y'all didn't do what you said you did, which was used 50 years, the ways that we understand about how dramatically overreactive people just trying to be humans, this is my right to have come to a conference to try to talk to people in the public spaces as they're standing around about the underlying theory that if you're going to do biotech with any kind of humanity, with any eye to the dangers, far overblown. I'm not concerned about biotech. I'm concerned about biotech having still operating on the Cartesian split, mind-body, completely separate. And that I want to get out into the public and talk about these things so there isn't hysteria, so there isn't the fear, so we can see there's a way of thinking that allows for free will, even though the current scientific consensus is certain there is none. And I agree 100% with the scientific consensus as Robert Sapolsky determined has outlined it. When you're in the systems, in the institutions, in the organizations, you're trained to be skeptical when you know science is bought and paid for by agendas over the past start of a millennium that have nothing to do with science or with anything regarding equality or justice or the thrivability of the species. It's being done to make just a handful of men not just inconceivably rich, but why does anyone want a civilization where a few men are responsible for paying for the public good? Can we have a conversation about how to help me be an independent philosopher, a la Darwin, and doing evolutionary logic? I can't do it in any current established system. That's why it's taken me so long. Everyone's too scared to go out on a limb. We can't talk about this. Won't be fixed, and we are hurtling to self-extinction of this species. I don't think climate change, it's too long, something random can occur. I don't think it's going to be the viruses. I don't think it's going to be where we think it's coming from. I think it's the devolution of intelligence by these here dumb handsets, quite frankly. Try to negotiate with an app. Do anything slightly different. How creative is it for me to just show up and invest my time, just set up my books and say who's got a minute, who's interested. I didn't go after a single person. I'm autistic, I'm not good at networking. I will avoid it as if it's death. Except it is death for me, so I don't. I've spun out. And that's because of the environment here. But I'm recording this, date time-stamped. I'm not in the public space entirely by myself, which is exactly how I behaved the entire conference. To have a security guard shout at me, "You know you don't belong," bad enough that a simple trying to watch the dance performance, misperception, still not entirely sure I'm in the wrong. Honest mistake, it was bad enough to shout at me, "You don't belong." But it's those first words, "You know you don't belong." This needs to be surfaced somehow, some way. Because I'm doing this so that we can see before we have to watch another black human be executed. Let's take apart what's happened to me, where people can see the subtlety, where you can see, sure, the guy didn't intend to. He just intended to flex his muscles, and that I'm not supposed to be able to assert my humanity. I didn't disagree with him about getting into watch the performance. I disagreed with him about his tone and his aggressive way of making me know that I'm not human enough to be part of the spirit of a CMR. My job. Public philosophy, stand-up philosophy, bespoke modality, #Socratic improv. It needs to get out into the zeitgeist. As colleagues, help me get a few people to reach out to find the funding, to just get started, to stay alive. And destitute for 4 years and 4 months, doing nothing but trying to help the species not go extinct, because there's no humans on this planet. In this entire time, I would spend the time to have a conversation with me. We are all dealing with immense pressures on our very survival. We cannot have these white men in charge coming at somebody. We're simply trying to have a conversation. And go scroll the rest of the channel. I've been dehumanized and criminalized for being asleep. Democracy done. Went extinct with the multinationals. Not only can they do whatever they want, and no government is powerful enough, they're enabling just a few men to prioritize their personal peccadillos while the species goes extinct. Again, sorry. Yes, again, the whole point of this is, like everything else for the previous 55 years of my life, I get abused. I'm the victim, and I feel compelled to protect those who have verbally, societally, and financially abused me. Do we think it's going to change for other people? It's not. Media, you only see the stories you want to see. Help me do something different. Socratic improv, hashtag breaking brilliant. I really want to just go be an entertainer. I call it entercation. We're pivoting it a bit. Sorry, I'm going to give college lectures. I can't get the entertainment people to look at me because it's too intelligent. I have to dumb down. Don't want to have to figure out how to write papers. Einstein wouldn't have written papers. He'd be on YouTube. He wasn't allowed in academia either for being autistic, almost certainly. For challenging authority, for simply trying to make a new way of being. All right, Harmony.